As I look at these minimum wage increases every year, to me it's a symptom of an economy that is bad and continues to struggle. I don't want anybody to be poor, and I don't want fathers and mothers having to raise their children on minimum wage. But our economy is simply not producing the kinds of jobs for mothers and fathers to raise their families on. When we look at the economic forecast, it is called the Rhode Island Outlook from the May Revenue Conference. We find that the consensus of all the experts was that Rhode Island will only create 9,000 new jobs over the next 5 years. That is pathetic. We have not returned to the employment levels that we had in 2007 before the recession. And 45% of the new jobs that we have added pay less than $35,000. That's not minimum wage, but that's not what mothers and fathers should be raising their children, supporting their families with. By raising the minimum wage constantly, and the testimony or the remarks of Representative McLaughlin tells us what's happening. His municipal public works or recreation director said he'd like to hire 150 people for the summer program. But if the minimum wage goes up, it's going to be 125. That's known as extinguishing entry-level positions. No one should live at minimum wage. And quite frankly, most people don't. But the minimum wage is an entry-level position. It's where people gain the skills. If we continue to forget that jobs are based on a strong economy, if we keep struggling over trying to get more minimum wage jobs here, instead of focusing on getting those good paying jobs that support families, then here's another bad statistics. People are leaving Rhode Island. We have a net out migration. Over the next 5 years, those same 5 years when we're going to be creating 9,000 jobs, we're going to have about 45,000 new high school graduates hitting the streets. They won't have jobs here. They won't have those entry-level jobs to start their lives, to start their careers. I did go to some of those hearings in House Labor when we were talking about minimum wage. And employer after employer was saying this was going to cause them to get rid of people, to try to do the same service with fewer folks. When you do the same service with fewer folks, you're getting rid of those entry-level positions. I want nobody to be poor. But unless we have really good jobs for them to go into, that's where they are, bouncing along. And I have been poor, and I know what it feels like. It's much better to have a good paying job. And if we keep doing this to our economy, we won't get there.